road, and it was easy to find a place. But now I see fences, 3 different roads. I had to explore those things before I find the place. So finally things turn around, and this is Louvette Beach now. This is Louvette, people. Just climbing up the hill here, seeing how far I'll reach. Now this is the part of the Olon Hill, which is the most difficult part for me. From here until you reach that gap going to Banye, that's the difficult part for me. And what really motivates me to come here more often is when I saw old men in their 70s. There are men in their 70s walking this road every morning to go to their farms. That's when I decide I have to come here and master this road here. So this is the end of Orada Junction here. The left side goes to Banye, and if you go straight, it takes you to Louvette. I'm not sure if I'm going to reach Louvette. I'm just going to see how far I'm willing to reach. So this man here, he has his farm around here. I spoke to him the last time. Very nice guy. He appears to be a nice man. And he's working all these lands. I think around 15 acres. And he seemed to be doing his thing by himself. And I don't understand how, when you're passing through communities, you will always see young men, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 25, in the community, just sitting on the block, doing nothing. And it will be surprising to you that these people get free meals a day. Some people say free square meals. I don't know where this square come from. But they get free meals a day. They would have dressed in better clothes than you. And in some cases, some of these guys will be even castigating, berating, and insulting their mothers. Some of these guys you see on the block, some of them, not all, some of them are loving guys, they love their mothers. But some of these fellas, their mothers are actually afraid of them, cannot even talk in the house. And the mothers just have to give them men what they want and what they need, or else. And I'm not saying that's happening often, but there are a small minority of people sitting on the block who have their mothers in a situation where their mothers cannot talk in the house. And the reason for all of that is because these same parents were enablers of these children from the time they were small. And now they have grown now to give the enablers trouble. I was looking at a program the last time on gorillas. These male, how do they call them? Silverback gorillas. These animals, they love the infants, the young ones, the young gorillas so much that they would take the young ones from the mother and go isolate themselves with the young one, playing with the young one, and so on. So when the mother gorilla is coming to get the infant from the father would try to prevent the mother from getting the baby gorilla. And so in some instances the baby gorillas will die from dehydration, starvation, because they were not able to get the milk from the mother. I think it may have been from these scenarios that we got the expression that makak kawese ishli telma ichwe. We have a situation where mothers and fathers will spoil their children so much that they will be developing traits and characteristics that will render them unable to or unwilling to work in the society. So this place here, I'm going down to, going down towards the Louvette area, but there's still a great distance that I have to travel. I came here a long time ago, and I know Brother Rudy has his farm somewhere around here. Sando has his farm somewhere here too. These are the two persons that I know who have farms here. But I can see part of the ocean. I don't know how far out I'm seeing right now, but if you can see, there are farms on every side. That's the left side of the road there, and I went there around a good, more than 10 years ago. I went down there, and there's a river that passes there, nice flowing water, and there's a guy who had a fish pond there. I forgot. Oh yeah, Stephen, a guy named Stephen. Stephen had a fish pond in that area here. So I'm trying to see if I'm going to reach Louvette. It's a good thing I had some breakfast this morning. Now sometimes when I come, I walk through that Olon road sometimes without having breakfast, and it is not a good thing, because especially when you climb in those hills, you can actually faint, because if you fasted overnight, you wake up in the morning, your glucose level is low. In my case, your glucose level most likely is low. Now, under normal circumstances, probably you would have been able to go through 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock before you eat, in some cases. But now, with the little glucose that you have in your blood, you want to climb these hills. So what will happen is, climbing these hills, you're consuming a lot of glucose. And what can happen to you is your glucose level can get so low that you can just collapse. You can just collapse. So you have to know yourself. You have to know yourself. This morning I had breakfast, so I was able to eat that Olon Hill. And now I'm trying to see if I'll be willing to go to Louvette. All these roads here are nice roads, but I know that closer to Louvette, the road will not be good at all, because I have been here before on a few occasions. Now, it is widely known that this area is a place with snakes. It is widely known. Now the thing is, one of the things that you have to know, we have to know, when we go to places is always this. You have to know your environment. You have to read your environment. You have to know the organisms, the living things, and the non-living things that exist in an ecosystem, and how they interact with each other, how they feed, how they eat, how they reproduce, all of those things. So this is why you cannot just go into an area without knowing about the area. So then that's how some people get hurt. You run up on some animals that are very defensive. You have to find out about an area first. You have to know what animals are in the area. Do you have snakes in that area? If in other countries, do you have mountain lions, jaguars, whatever? You have to know about the plants. What plants that predominate in that area? Now, look at this. How do you call that? Solder? Me a solder ka machin chi me a sans fusil. So, look at where people have to come all the way here every day to work. And most times these people are older people. Sometimes these people are in their 70s, sometimes coming here to work. That's why I don't understand how you have people on the bar, on the block, not coming and find something to do. And you're finding all these old people finding things to do. So right now I'm seeing a man working on his farm. Plants looking very good from a distance. So I'm going to try to check him out to see what's going on. You got the belly, Sando? You saw that by? NPK, on peut buy NPK too. On peut buy NPK too. Ibel Sando. On va te payer bientôt. Wow. So yeah, so you just heard a while ago I was telling you about Sando. And I didn't remember where exactly his farm is, and I just run up on his farm a while ago. He has some things, nice things planted there. Now it is amazing that somebody will go ahead and make the sacrifices to plant those things, and people think it is okay to just go and steal your things. And they will even look for a market for the things that they would have stolen from you. They feel well justified in doing those things. There is another road here, side road. Now these roads here, these farm roads, I think a long time ago they were calling those things feeder road. The road has not changed, but I'm not hearing the use of that word anymore. Feeder roads. There was a time you used to hear that on the radio a lot. That was when they were constructing these roads, feeder roads. And look over there, it looks like somebody's doing some nice farming over there again. All around, man. All around. But The thing is, you need to have good roads to accommodate and facilitate farming. But the way people behave now, I'm wondering, would it be a case where the government fix up and repair all these feeder roads only to find out that the people are still not interested in farming? I wonder. Now, it is very important, people, that I mention this thing. You see these videos that I make, for me it is very therapeutic. There are people who relieve stress, who relieve their stress. Some people do it through alcohol, sports, exercise, sex, different things. And a combination of these, or a lot of one. Some people smoke weed as their means of dealing with stress. And there are some people who cannot deal with stress at all. The thing that does it for me the most is when I take my camera and I go around in places by myself where I cannot see anybody and I'm just there with nature. That's one of the things that does it for me 95% of the time. I feel so good when I'm out in the wild with my camera and there's no disturbance. So somebody will see you doing this thing and they'll say, that man ain't have nothing to do, man. That man always out there for camera doing this, doing that. But when I do this thing, it helps my mind, it helps my physical fitness, and there is sometimes useful information, most times useful information that the people and the public can benefit from. Now the thing is, you may think that I'm spending a lot of time doing that. It is not. I've been doing this thing for years. I am able to edit this thing in a very short space of time. In a matter of minutes, I edit this thing. You will hear people talk about they spend hours editing. I do not have time to spend hours editing because I have other things to do. Like I have to read every day. You check it? I have to keep up with my medical knowledge, so every day I have to read. So I prefer to spend my hours reading medical text, medical information, medical journal or whatever, than to spend all my time doing those things. Now you will see me doing those things and you'll assume that it's spending a lot of time. No. The only time is the time I find I spend working. I edit very fast because of years of experience in editing. And there's a lot of other little editing tricks that I can infuse into my work. But I want my editing to be simple. Some of the things that other people may put in their editing does not really add value to the work. And again, the most important thing is I do not want to spend all my time doing that. Just do a fast thing that is usable, because my time is, I have to read. I spend a lot of my time reading medical literature, medical information, medical text. So I don't have all that time to edit. And do not assume that I spend a lot of time in those things, because over the time I have found out ways to do those things fast. I've been doing this thing so long, so I know how to do this thing very fast. There are times when I do these videos and I do not edit at all. I will just say what I have to say and just put it up like that. Just avoid making too many mistakes. The other reason why I do those videos is to help me with storytelling. And if you have reached that far in this video, I want you to get this gift. Let me tell you something. Storytelling is very important in life. storytelling. And I've realized that one of my weak areas was in storytelling, is in presenting a story in an effective way. So that's something that I've been working on for years. And I'm getting very good in the art of storytelling. It is very important that you who are listening to this video, it is a good skill to have. The skill and the art of storytelling. Wow. All the way over there on the range over there. Let me see if I can play with that lens there. All the way over there, I'm seeing somebody doing farming there. Where did that person pass to go there? Where did that person pass to go into that place there? Wow. Wow. It's amazing what people have to do to eat, boy. It's amazing. This is why when I was a little kid, my mother used to tell me, do not get jealous of what people have. Don't get jealous of what people have. She would say, because you do not know what they did to get it. Now I'm telling you people, do not get jealous. Because look at right where this man is over there. This thing is, I would say, from where I am, this is more than a mile from where I am. There is a big space between. There is like a depression. There must be a ravine in between where I am and where he is. And I'm wondering exactly where he passed to go there. So this man is working hard for his money. And if he were to do something that he likes, then you'll get people being envious of him for that, not knowing how far this guy has to go to eat a bread. Or if it is that somebody has whatever car they have, the person could be having the most expensive one. And do not feel jealous of the situation. Possibility that this person did some hideous thing to get the money to buy this car. Or somebody did something, work extremely hard to buy what it is that they have. That's why you have to leave people alone. Let people enjoy the fruits of their labor, whether it is good labor or bad labor. As the people say, si bono tut kaiwai. So, this area here, I've always heard that this area here has snakes. And so I'm walking, being mindful of the fact that I can possibly encounter one on the way. I'm being very vigilant, very watchful that there's a possibility that I may see one of my friends. And I may have to say hello to my little friend. Nonetheless, I'm not going to walk. I'm not going to move around in fear. These things will not prevent me from doing what I have to do and going where I have to go. Oh, I see something there. That fly around there, they call that, I forgot the English name, but in Patois they call it jep. And when that thing is in a nest and you bother it, and when that thing fly and hits you, you will see lightning, and you will see lightning, and you'll have thunder. Now, oh, I'm hearing something. It's a vehicle coming up from Louvette. So let me give that man space. It's a vehicle coming up from Louvette. Let me give that man some space. Even on this side here, you can see this area look like it has been cleared. Based on the height of this area, you can the shrubs there. You can see that somebody cleared that area, and they didn't come early enough to plant or do whatever it is that they wanted to do. But I'm smelling something like some kind of cow dung, like cow dung dried like this. It looked like there might be something like some kind of cow or something in the area. It may not be here, but probably the wind is blowing this smell. But there must be some kind of cows or some other animals being raised in that area, because that smell, I know that smell. Characteristic. And it can be very far from here. But I'm smelling this thing. So that kind of wood there, this thing there is called T-bomb, what T-bomb. And they use that to make like, how they call it? Wow, I should know that, you know. These sticks that they use to hold the tomatoes. Ting, 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 mobile, you know, sir. They use that a lot for that. Now this T-bomb is, they used to use that to beat us in the school, in primary school. Yeah, some of the teachers would use that. They would take that thing and they would peel the skin off it. They would take off the back and they would use that to beat people. So like, people who couldn't say their timetables, so the father would tell you, next week, Wednesday, we're going to know, you have to know the 9th and the 8th timetables on Wednesday. Come prepared. So the guy would come with his lengthy bomb. That same tree I showed you a while ago. Or some of them would have a leather belt. Some people prefer the lengthy bomb more than the leather belt because they feel they can inflict more pain with the lengthy bomb. They believe that they can inflict more pain on you. So they would give you a choice between your hand and your backside. And some of them your back too. They would use it on your back. These days, you can't really administer this punishment in school anymore. But before, in my time, these people used to go overboard with those things. Cut people back, bleed people back, all kind of things like that these guys were doing. But I was fortunate enough to avoid some of those things, because by the time the man come, I would have known the timetable. I used to remember this timetable as well. So I saved myself from the torture of some of these guys. Now that's the thing about them places, eh? When you come to a place like that, you can't get a ride. You can't say, you're tired, I want a ride back. You can't say nothing like that because you ain't gonna get no ride. They ain't have no vehicles coming here like that. And if something were to happen to you in a place like that, how would people know that something happened to you? That's why you have to have the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Glory be to the Most High Jah, hallowed be thy name. King of Kings, Lord of Lords, worthy to be praised. I ascribe to you dominion, power and grace. For all the years that is to come, you'll always be the same. It's me again, Jah, as I come on my knees to pray. Help me, God, I pray. Don't let me get carried away in this system. Yes, people. This is again the road to Louvette. This is the road to Louvette. And every year around December time, there are some Germans who come here and they will move with a convoy of vehicles, four-wheel drive vehicles, going to Louvette. And they do that every year. I heard that they own some land in Louvette. They own some land in Louvette. They own some land in Louvette. How many of you can say that you all own land in Germany? If you have land in Germany, the most you may have is a house. The people sell everything that they have to people from other places. And you will be surprised, you from the country who trying to get something from here, boy, then people, all devils coming out from holes to try to block you. There's a guy, some guys from Spain. Them men were from Spain. These guys took a loan from a bank in St. Lucia, millions of dollars, and them man never paid. Them man move out. They never paid, and that bank never get their money back. I wonder if these guys had something to lose. These white guys. You think these fellas would just come to St. Lucia, take a loan of millions of dollars and just leave the country like that? If them man, because they would ask you to put security. Why would them fellas leave, take all these millions of dollars and go? Huh? And the St. Lucians that have things to present to the banks, a lot of these banks will deny you. In St. Lucia, a lot of the things, and I tell you all these people these things because I know what I'm talking about. A lot, 95% of the time in this country, it's about who you know. Who will tell a story on your behalf, eh? If the people don't know you, boy, you ain't getting nothing in this country, eh? Come and say how you from the country you were born here. That mean nothing to nobody, oh boy. Oh. There's all this mud in the place there now. We're going to pass now, boy. Where will I pass? There's all that big pool of water here. Where will I pass? Look at this. There's that piece. piece of wood here. To take somebody had that piece of wood there. To use that to navigate. Person cut the piece of long piece of wood, and I had to use that to navigate through. I put it back. I hope they get it, because I have to be careful. I can't just walk anyhow. Now the thing is, I'm starting to hear, you know, that the roaring of the sea, the noise that you hear when you're a certain distance from further, you're hearing it. I'm starting to hear this one by Louvette now. So probably I have less than half a mile to go, I know. Give me strength, for God I pray, oh Lord, to face another day. Lord, give me strength to face another day. I can see from a distance. I can almost start seeing the beach from a distance. Now, in some places the road is very bad, but in other places it is just okay. Piece of rock, a rock surface here. Now the fact is there was rain falling. It was raining, probably raining last night, and the sun is coming out. Sometimes on these pieces of rock, the snakes come and take their sun bath and cool out in these places as the sun come out. Now all of these things are important pieces of information that the public need to know. And I find the forestry department need to be the ones to tell the people about those things. Because when you look at it, I remember a couple of years ago, there's a guy who came in my shop. At that time I had a shop, and he was asking me questions. It was like he was conducting a survey about snakes, asking you if you know if there are snakes around, things like that, if you were to see one, what you're going to do and all of that. So basically, I told this guy, if I were to see one, I will kill it. The objective of this man, I believe that these guys realized that the snakes were getting closer to where people live. And they wanted to find out how many people were aware of that. And also, he probably wanted to find out, to cast that story about not to kill the snakes. The thing is, they just take things wholesale from America and other places and they bring it here. When the Americans tell you do not kill the snakes, the guys have in every area, the Americans have people, snake handlers, that you can just call a number and somebody will come take the snake and drop it where it is that they want to drop it. There is nobody, nowhere in the community, in any community that you can call, if you find a snake in your farm or in your yard, there is nobody, there is no numbers that you can call. Yet these people telling you do not kill the snake. You tell me you find an aggressive creature like that, in your yard and you're not allowed to kill it, and you have nobody in place for people to call to come and handle these things? No wonder people don't take some of these government places seriously when they talk. Because they just want to, you all hear things in America, you hear a policy, you just want to implement it, and you don't even understand that the people have things in place to protect the policy that they're trying to implement. Wow, that one there, that area has a lot of rock, but it's almost like you're walking on a rock quarry here. And that's very good. That'll be good that's good foundation for the road. That's good foundation for the road. Very good. It feels like you're walking in a rock quarry. And it's very good. Good foundation. But I personally, I will not put my vehicle in that road. It could be 10-wheel drive. 10-wheel drive. But I will not put my vehicle in that road, not at all. The name of that road is Quasi Machine. The name of that road is Demute Machine. This road is a destroyer of vehicles. That road here. That's a destroyer of vehicles. If I have to drive my vehicle in that road, driving my vehicle right in that road, I have to be getting $1,000 to go and $1,000 to come back. And that money, I'm not even touching it, because I know that money will be needed soon for repairs, major repairs. Now, the thing is, I knew that there was a possibility of me going to Louvette today, of me reaching there, because when I left the house, I had no intentions of reaching Louvette. My mind was made as I was going. In fact, I bought from Olon when I was driving, and he said, man, you reaching Louvette today, man? And I say, yeah. And that just prompted me to want to go to Louvette. So here I am, on the road going to Louvette now. It is just these shrubs all around, shrubs. And one of the ways that you can know the type of soil, or whether or not you have fertile soils in an area, is based on the kind of plants that grow in that area. Also, and more importantly, you can have a good idea of the rainfall pattern of a place, of an area, based on the plants that are growing in that area. So somebody, if you are trained in a certain area, and if you're training in that thing, somebody could blindfold you and drop you in an area without knowing how you get there. And based on the plants that you see around, you can have an idea about the waterfall in that area, the rainfall. You can have an idea of the rainfall in that area. from the rainfall, which you get from the plants, you can even have an idea as the animals that you may find in that area too. So a lot of things can come out of that, and you can just form a general idea. You can have a general idea of the ecosystems by just looking at the plants that grow in that area, and you can have a general idea of what's happening there. Yeah, some doves. It looked like I ran up on them doves. So wow, I'm not too far from I'm seeing it. Wow. I was thinking I was probably around maybe 2 miles away based on what I saw from a distance, but from what I see there, I'm less than a mile away from this scene now. Less than a mile away. Look at this beautiful thing in the water there. Look at this. That marvelous islet. That looked like the Dennery Islet, people. That looked like the Dennery Islet. That looked like the Dennery Islet. Again, let me tell you something. Some people believe to enjoy St. Lucia, if they believe that if you're not going to these water holes up north or in certain communities, you're not enjoying life. Some people believe that if you do not live in Gros-Islet or in certain parts of St. Lucia, you're not enjoying life. Some people believe that if you're not going to a place where they sell expensive food, you're not enjoying life. But the people were fooled. Let me tell you something, this is life. You see, when you can come into a place and breathe fresh air, calm air, cool air, and you can see this marvelous architecture that God designed and create, this is life. That is life. That is life. This is the life. Some people believe that some other people's lives are boring just because they're not going to a club. Man, you don't see nothing yet. Just because somebody is going to a club, their life is boring. Some people believe just because you're going to a club, your life is boring. This is life, boy. This is beauty. Some people believe if you're not getting drunk, you're not enjoying life. Some people believe if you're not slack, that's a slack fella, you're not enjoying yourself. Nah. That ain't what it is. There is more to life than that. Now, this is the only human being I have passed on the road, walking on the road. And there's a little partner I've seen walking around on the community, and he appears to have a little mental problem. He appears to have a little mental problem. And one of the things I believe is that when the people already have that problem, they are also neglected. even by their own people. People in the society don't want to deal with them. So sometimes some mental disturbance that might be minor may end up getting more aggravated or worse because the people do not have anybody to interact with. Everybody just put them aside. Nobody wants to socialize with them. Nobody wants to talk to them. And that is the problem that we have in the country, where people don't look out for them kind of people. Nobody really want to take time now. I seen two roads there, one on the left going here, one on the right going here, and I'm not even sure which one to where to go, because I've been here so long, man. It's been a very long time, and somebody put a fence there. But that looked more like a private vibe going on here. I don't want to take that road for that thing to be taking me too far from the beach itself. But the other thing on the left looked like a private vibe. I don't want to go on that private thing. Because I'm hearing some engine here. Some engine running. But then that gate is closed. So I'll go over there, I'll pass on that side and see. Maybe I can ask the guy here, where is it? Which one is the right one? Because the beach is just here. Just in front of me there, and I'm seeing fencing everywhere now. When I came here a long time ago, the place was more free up. Now it looks like everywhere have gate and fence. That look like a, no man, that look like a pig pen and thing there. That cannot be. That's a private vibe. Somebody's pig pen or something. So I'll try that side. I'll try that side. I hope that doesn't bring me far from the beach, because look, I'm seeing the beach there. Why I have to be moving all around like that to get to the beach? Look, I can see it there. Look it. Look everything there. And it is so hard to get to the thing. They put a fence. Fly the gate and let in the pirate. Fly the gate. Fly the gate and let in the pirate. Fly the gate. Let me tell you something I found out. Here's what I found out, Here's what I found out. You know that a lot of people in this country, I notice people do not really want to hear the truth. There is a propensity in people. It's almost like they prefer to hear the lies. Lies are more convenient than truth. The people have a template in their minds based on their personal experiences of what life is supposed to constitute. what the ideal life is, or what life is, what experiences are. And when you tell certain people about the truth of your life, your experiences, I have found that a lot of people, they tend not to believe you. The people tend not to believe you. I find that in St. Lucia, people have a tendency and a propensity to listen to lies. The person who can make the best lie, the person who can tell a story using lies, will get further in this country. And people tend to want to mark the politicians, and it's like the people, sometimes we want to make politicians into our scapegoat, to blame politicians for all our problems, all our faults, all our sins. But there are others in the society who are the engineers and designers of a lot of the problems that we have in society. And a lot of times people thinking it's the politicians that are the problem. And most times it is not them. I'm in the wrong area, guys. I'm not seeing any signs of the beach. I was seeing the beach now. And they're going on a wild goose chase. And I seen the beach. You know what? I should have just burst through that gate I saw there, you know. I would have been by the beach already. Because where I going there, I know where I going. I know that thing will invariably end up by the beach. But I don't want to be spending all that time where I should have been by the beach already. The thing is, for so long, I come here yet. You know what? I should have just gone and asked the guy I saw. I should have just gone and asked that man about where that thing is. Because right now I'm moving around in circles and I don't like that. But there was not all these roads were not there when I came here a while back. Now I seen all these roads and I know what's going on. But the place I saw there, it was more like a edge of a rock. And I don't think that's the real beach that I went to the first time. It's been a long, long time, yes, sir. A long, long time. I came here around 20 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just in that area here, Louvette. But that's not where I want to be. I wanted to end up by a beach. I not getting there. Yeah, I came here so long ago, and that's not the place I want to be. The beach area I can see is more to the left there. More to the left, so I need to go more to the left. Get out of that place and go back to the left. Sea look very rough today, man. Sea look very rough today. So nice and decent people have finally arrived at the Louvette beach. When I came here a long time ago, there was just one road and it was easy to find a place. But now I see fences, 3 different roads. I had to explore those things before I find the place. So finally things turn around, and this is Louvette Beach now. This is Louvette, people. That's Louvette Beach. This is it, people. This is Louvette Beach. This is Louvette, people. Louvette Beach. Finally things turn around. This is the big and bad Louvette. This is the big and bad Louvette Beach. This is the big and bad Louvette. Wow, it was so hard for me to land here. Because when I came here all this time ago, it was just one road. And there was an old hotel. But right now I see a lot of cows in the area. So this is it, people. This is Louvette. And except people from the valley, most people in St. Lucia have not been to this beach. And if you were to go on the other side, you would go to Kaides. That area by Kaides, what's the name of the beach there? There's a beach by Kaides. Guantans, Grantans. This is the pollution. All your engine oil, the bottles, your soft drink bottles, your light bulbs, water bottles, your old fridges, all your old fridges. Because the people have been telling you, the government have been telling you people for a long time to discard your rubbish properly. They've been doing that for a long time. From the time I was going to high school, they've been doing that. And yet, after all these years, look, the government have a responsibility, but people, we have a responsibility too. There is no way that this thing's supposed to be reaching on the beach. Look at that. Look at all your shit, all your pollutants, all your stuff that you use at your home. Look at that. These are your things. When you're on a bus, you just send the things out. You're under the bus stop and you just send your things anywhere. What happens? It reaches the little ravines, it gets into the rivers, and the rivers take them here. All your baby oil. All your baby oil things. Your water bottle, your juice bottle, your old fridges. All of these things are here. All these pollutants are here. You are the ones who throw those things out anywhere, indiscriminately. And look, this is beautiful, eh? And I know that on the other side there is another part too. But I'm not going to go over there. I'm just happy that I was able to come here. My goal was to come to this place, passing through Olon, going through all of the hills, and come to Louvette. I haven't been there in many, many years. And the physical structures are good. You know, in terms of the natural environment. But the only thing that's bad here is what we did. The pollution that we created here. Look, all this nastiness on the beach because of us. We the people did that. All the nature is intact. Watch this. All of the nature is intact. Look. All of the nature is intact. All of the nature is intact. All of the nature is intact. The only thing that is out of place is the mess that we created here. You didn't come here and drop it here, but when you stayed on your bus stop and you send the thing, you're walking on the road and you send these bottles anywhere. This is where they end up. And the more the government people, the environment people talk to you, you do not hear. But this is where it is. And what about those that are actually in the ocean. And in other videos, I mentioned some of the ramifications of those things. We need to take care of the environment, people. This is a wonderful Louvette. This is a wonderful Louvette. This is a wonderful Louvette. All around. Beautiful. This is Louvette Beach. Keep the fire burning.